Imagine transforming your entire garden with just $50 and seeing results that look like you spent hundreds. Today, I'm sharing 10 Dollar Tree garden hacks that actually work in 2026, and some of them will completely change how you garden. From protecting your seedlings to organizing your tools, these tricks are simple, budget-friendly, and proven to give real results. Stick around, because by the end, your garden setup will be smarter, cleaner, and way more efficient, all without breaking the bank. Welcome back to Greenhaven Homes. I'm so glad you're here. If you love discovering clever gardening tips and hacks that save time, money, and effort, you're in the right place. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and turn on notifications so you never miss a tip that could completely upgrade your garden. Trust me, these hacks are easy to follow, and I'll show you exactly how they work in my own backyard. Hack number 1. Shower curtain liner as weed barrier. If you've ever priced out landscape fabric, you know it adds up fast, especially when you're covering large garden beds. A simple Dollar Tree shower curtain liner solves that problem for a fraction of the cost. Lay it down underneath your mulch, trim it to fit your bed, and you've instantly created a solid weed barrier. It blocks out sunlight so weeds can't push through, but it still allows water to move through the soil. It's durable, easy to work with, and surprisingly effective for something that costs so little. Once everything is in place and covered with mulch, the difference is obvious. Your garden beds look cleaner, weeds drop to almost zero, and your plants get all the moisture they need without competition. I tried this in one of my worst weed spots, and the before and after results were dramatic. It's one of those hacks you try once, and then end up using everywhere. Hack number 2, kitchen organization bins as seed starters. Those plastic drawer organizers from Dollar Tree are surprisingly perfect for starting seeds, and they're way sturdier than a lot of the flimsy trays you find in garden centers. Start by drilling a few drainage holes in the bottom so excess water can escape. Fill them with your favorite seed starting mix, press your seeds in, and you've got a wide, shallow tray that promotes strong, even germination. The shape makes it easy to fit several of them side by side on a windowsill, and because they're lightweight, you can move them around as needed without disturbing your seedlings. They're also easy to clean and reuse from season to season, which keeps your setup inexpensive and consistent. When you compare the cost of these organizers to traditional seed trays, the savings are huge. Similar trays can run anywhere from $5 to $15, while these are a single Dollar Tree purchase that does the job just as well. The surface area is generous, giving your seedlings plenty of room to sprout without crowding, and the plastic holds moisture well, so your mix doesn't dry out too fast. I've used them for herbs, greens, tomatoes, and peppers, and they've performed beautifully every time. If you're trying to start a lot of seeds on a small budget, this hack makes it easy to grow more for less. Hack number 3. Pool noodles for tool protection. Pool noodles are one of those Dollar Tree items that end up being far more useful in the garden than you'd ever expect. Slice one down the middle, open it up, and slide it over the sharp edges of your garden tools. It creates a soft, protective sleeve that keeps blades covered and prevents accidental scratches or cuts when you're moving things around. It also cushions the edges of metal tools, which helps slow down rust and keeps them from banging against each other in storage. This little trick turns a cheap pool noodle into a smart safety upgrade for your entire tool collection. What I love most is how organized everything becomes once the noodles are in place. Tools in your shed or garage store neatly without clashing, and you can even color code the noodles if you want to keep certain tools grouped together. It takes just a few minutes to set up and instantly makes your gardening space feel more put together. If you've ever reached into a crowded tool bin and come out with a scraped knuckle, this hack will be a game changer. It's low cost, simple, and one of those everyday improvements you'll wish you started using years ago. Hack number 4. Cooling racks as herb drying racks. Those wire cooling racks in the kitchen aisle are perfect for drying herbs, and honestly, they work just as well as the expensive drying racks sold in garden stores. The open grid design lets air circulate evenly around your herbs, which helps them dry faster and prevents mold. Lay your bundles or loose leaves across the rack, set it somewhere with good airflow, and let it do the work. Because the racks are thin and lightweight, you can fit them on shelves, counters, or even stack them using small risers or blocks to create a multi-layer drying setup. It's simple, efficient, and costs a fraction of what you'd spend on a specialized herb dryer. The best part is how easy they are to clean and reuse. When you're done drying one batch, a quick rinse gets the racks ready for your next harvest. They also keep your herbs from touching surfaces that trap moisture, which means you get cleaner, crisper results with more aroma and flavor. When you compare that to buying a fancy hanging rack or dehydrator, the savings are huge. I've used these for basil, mint, rosemary, and oregano, with consistently great results. If you like preserving your herbs throughout the season, this hack fits right into a budget-friendly kitchen garden routine. Hack number 5. Tension rods for vertical gardening. Shower tension rods are incredibly handy when you need to squeeze more growing space out of a small area. Set one up between two fence posts, across a balcony railing, or even between the sides of a narrow patio wall. Once it's in place, you can hang lightweight pots or herb containers using S-hooks, turning an empty vertical space into a productive garden wall. It's an easy way to grow more without expanding your footprint, and you can adjust the height of the rod anytime as your plants grow or your layout changes. Even in tight spaces, the setup feels clean, sturdy, and surprisingly practical. This trick is especially useful for herbs, trailing plants, and small flowering varieties that don't need heavy pots. You can arrange several rods at different heights to create layers, or use just one to free up counter and floor space. It also makes watering and harvesting easier because everything is right at eye level. And compared to store-bought vertical garden systems, which can run pretty high in price, this Dollar Tree version costs almost nothing and gives you the same lush, stacked look. If you're gardening on a balcony, renting a place, or just want more room to grow, this hack is a simple win. Hack number 6. Dish drying mats as knee pads. Dish drying mats are one of the most unexpectedly useful garden helpers you can grab from Dollar Tree. They're soft, cushiony, and thick enough to protect your knees when you're working close to the ground. Lay one down next to your garden beds while you're weeding, planting, or harvesting, and you'll feel the difference right away. The microfiber surface is gentle and doesn't slip around, so it stays in place while you move. They're also lightweight, easy to fold, and simple to carry from one part of the garden to another without feeling bulky. For the price, they're a huge upgrade from kneeling on bare soil or rough concrete. Another big advantage is how easy they are to clean and reuse. If they get muddy, just toss them in the washer and they come out looking brand new. Traditional garden knee pads can be expensive, stiff, or uncomfortable, but these mats give you soft support without the cost. I keep a couple of them in different areas of the garden because they're so convenient, and having them nearby makes longer garden sessions much more comfortable. It's a small change that makes your gardening routine feel a lot easier and way more enjoyable. Hack number 7. Plastic tablecloths as greenhouse covers. Clear plastic tablecloths from Dollar Tree make surprisingly effective mini greenhouse covers, especially when you're trying to give young seedlings a head start. Drape one over a simple wire frame or even a set of garden hoops, secure the edges with rocks or clips, and you've created a warm, protected space that traps heat and shields tender plants from chilly nights. The material is lightweight, easy to cut, and surprisingly durable for the price. It lets plenty of light through, keeps moisture where your plants need it, and creates a stable environment that helps seedlings grow stronger, faster, and more resilient. This little DIY setup is also perfect for extending your growing season in early spring and late fall. On cooler days, the tablecloth helps hold in warmth, and on rainy days, it keeps your plants dry without blocking natural light. Compared to buying actual greenhouse plastic or a prefab mini greenhouse, the savings are huge while the results are almost identical. I've used this method for tomatoes, herbs, lettuces, and new cuttings, and it gave me healthier starts than anything I've bought pre-grown. If you're looking for a low-cost way to boost your garden's productivity, this hack pays off almost immediately. Hack number 8. Ice cube trays for propagation stations. Ice cube trays are one of the easiest and cheapest ways to create a neat little propagation setup for cuttings. Each compartment acts like its own tiny rooting container, giving every cutting enough space to develop without getting tangled with its neighbors. Fill the tray with a light propagation mix or even water, If you're rooting something simple, then place your cuttings inside. The small size helps maintain moisture around the stems, and the tray keeps everything organized in one compact spot. Clear trays are especially useful because you can actually see when roots begin to form without disturbing the cutting. Label the edge of the tray with masking tape so you can track what you're propagating and when you started. It's a great way to experiment with multiple plant varieties at once without needing a bunch of separate cups or containers. When roots are established, you can pop each cutting out individually and pot it up with almost no mess. This hack saves time, saves space, and makes the whole propagation process feel cleaner and more controlled. If you enjoy multiplying your plants on a budget, an ice cube tray is a simple tool that delivers surprisingly good results. Hack number 9. Command hooks for garden hose management. Outdoor command hooks are a simple way to finally get hoses and small tools under control. Stick one onto a fence, shed wall, or even the side of your house, and you instantly have a clean spot to coil and hang your garden hose. It keeps the hose off the ground, prevents kinks, and stops it from getting muddy or tangled. You can also use a few hooks together to create a little station for gloves, spray bottles, or hand tools, which makes everything easier to grab when you're in the middle of a task. Because they're removable, you can adjust your setup anytime without drilling holes or damaging surfaces. This setup makes your whole garden workspace feel more organized and easier to move through. No more tripping over hoses or hunting for tools buried under clutter. The hooks hold more weight than you'd expect, and with just a couple of them, you can turn an empty patch of wall into a tidy storage area. Compared to the cost of buying a full hose reel or fancy organizers, this is a simple Dollar Tree upgrade that works just as well. It's practical, inexpensive, and instantly cleans up one of the messiest corners of the garden. Hack number 10. Baking cooling racks as garden cloches. Dome-shaped cooling racks make surprisingly effective little cloches for protecting young seedlings. Just place one over a newly planted area, and you've created a lightweight shield that keeps pests, pets, and hungry critters from digging around your plants. The metal grid allows plenty of sunlight and rain to reach the soil, so your seedlings stay hydrated and warm without being exposed. They're sturdy enough to stay in place during breezy weather, and because they're raised slightly off the ground, they help create a gentle microclimate that encourages early growth. What makes this hack so useful is how reusable and versatile these racks are. You can move them around the garden as needed, stack several together for storage, and use them year after year without any special upkeep. In early spring, they help protect tender sprouts from sudden cold snaps, and later in the season, they keep birds or squirrels from snacking on your new growth. Compared to buying traditional cloches, which can get expensive fast, cooling racks give you the same level of protection for a tiny fraction of the cost. It's a simple, reliable solution that keeps your seedlings safe while they get established. So there you have it, 10 Dollar Tree garden hacks that actually work, and together they cost less than $15 to set up. From mini greenhouses to DIY seed trays and clever tool storage, each of these hacks saves you money, space, and a lot of frustration. I've tried every single one in my own garden, and the results speak for themselves. Which hack will you try first? Drop a comment below. I love hearing how these tips work in your gardens. If you found these ideas helpful, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and ring the notification bell so you never miss a Greenhaven Homes video. Your garden and your wallet will thank you.